Hey, it's Dan. Welcome back. This is iAllegedly, and I've got a good one for you today because I am at the San Clemente Pier, and before I walk down to the pier and walk down to the beach, they have a memorial for the Marines, which is really nice, and they have ceremonies up here a few times a year, and it's just a really cool spot that they maintain really well. It's really nice. People are angry right now. People are furious right now in the economy, in their lives, and in everything. And we're going to cover that in great detail today because this is the beginning, guys. This is not, you know, the end of this thing. This is the start of the problem. And with the start of the problem, you haven't seen anything yet. So we're going to cover a lot of this stuff today. But before I get into it, please take a second. Please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. Share this with everybody. Don't forget, we have an email list that you can sign up for. An email went out yesterday. And if you're on the email list already, check your spam filter, make sure you got it. If you want more access to me, there is a Patreon channel that you can sign up for, and you can get more access to me. Now, again, this is just a beautiful spot that overlooks the Pacific Ocean. I'm in South Orange County, right above San Diego. Before I get into the main topic, I want to cover something that I love. I love when people give hard numbers for something. I follow Greg Mannarino, and I really enjoy Greg Mannarino as far as his ability to pick the stocks. Even when things are down, he has things that go up, and he's just a fascinating guy. He's got a great channel here on YouTube. But he gave something that's really a bold statement, and he said that if the S&P 500 hits $3,837, we are officially in a bear market. Now, what he said for Monday and Tuesday is this: if the markets go up on Monday and go up on Tuesday, and then we give back a little bit on Wednesday, in other words, we have up days on Monday, up days on Tuesdays, and then the market goes down on Wednesday, we have hit the bottom, and there will not be, you know, any more stock falls, you know, stock prices that are going to fall. Basically, we've hit the bottom of the market at this point. Now that's fascinating. That's, again, a bold statement. And again, I'm paraphrasing. I'll leave the link to his video with his markets a look ahead if you want to watch the whole thing, but it's fascinating. Now, if the markets go down on Monday, okay, today, when you're watching this video, the markets go down, trouble's going to continue, and he's going to see that there is not a bottom yet. But it's not a bottom in the stock market yet, just because the debt market has not collapsed yet. So stocks are falling, but the debt market hasn't fallen yet. So there's that. So it's going to be interesting. $3,837 is what the S&P, if it hits that, we're in a bear market, guys. If the stocks go down Monday and Tuesday, if they go up Monday and Tuesday and fall on Wednesday, then that is the bottom of the market, and that's it. We've seen the bottom. So fascinating stuff. Now, Edward, who is a member of our Patreon channel, sent me one of the greatest photos ever that I'm going to show you guys. And it's from a Dollar Tree in his area. And he went to the Dollar Tree to buy stuff, and the Dollar Tree was closed. And it said, you know, look at this thing, first of all. Don't hire Gen Zs. People don't want to work. These kids show up and they had their boyfriends there, and the boyfriends wanted to hang out the entire shift, and we told them that that couldn't happen. So both of these people quit at the same time. Now, here's one thing fascinating about hiring people and working and the problem with the world today. Now, remember, this is the greatest labor market ever. There's no jobs left. Everything is great. The one thing that you cannot teach in this world is a work ethic. It is impossible to teach somebody to show up on time. It is impossible to teach someone to set their alarm on their own and be where they're supposed to be for the beginning of their shift, and not be late and not be a headache and not bring their boyfriends to work with them. It's just that simple. So with that, these people couldn't handle that. So again, I love stuff like this. I think it's absolutely crazy that we're seeing stuff like this. Jeff Bezos, who is not the richest man in the world, the second richest man in the world, this guy steps forward last Friday and says how there's nothing but problems with inflation, and inflation is destroying the middle class and that the Biden administration has to do something about inflation. Which, when I first heard this, I thought it was a joke. I thought, he didn't say that. It's the last thing that guy said was complain about something. So, no, he said this. Once again, inflation is the root of all evil right now. And it's funny to see somebody of Mr. Bezos' caliber get involved in it and think that this is the be-all to end-all, and that something has to be done, because nothing's being done. Nothing's being done by the Fed. The Fed has kicked the can down the road a ton. Look at this place, guys. The thing that's crazy about this place is you've got these hotels that are down here, and you've got the train tracks that are right here. And the real estate's still expensive here, but it's awful in the sense that you've got a train whipping by here, I don't know, 10, 12 times a day at least. So, you know, all these Instagrammers come out here and get their picture taken on the track, and you're allowed to walk across the track, okay, which is nice. Again, to continue with how angry people are, think about this. There is a couple that is suing their son because he has not given them a grandchild yet. Sanjay and Sadhana Prasad, they're unhappy with their son, Shrey. Shrey has not given them a grandchild yet, and they think that that's unfair. And they want him to pay up $650,000. Now, again, they're blaming him for mental cruelty. They're saying that it is unfair that they have paid for everything in his life. It's called being a parent, by the way. Paid for everything in his life and for his education, and the least he could do is give them a grandson, and they haven't done that yet. So with that, you've got these people suing their son in India. Now, I don't know, is this going to carry any weight? Because, I mean, it's preposterous, guys, to think about this. Now, here's something that's fascinating, guys. This beach is really rocky and crappy. You got to wear shoes when you come out here, okay? But because of the erosion that they got, they actually brought more sand in. See that big pile of sand? But we've been out here before when this thing has been nothing to worry about. You know, it's just been flat, and the waves aren't really that big. You get some surfers down here, but it's not a really big spot for surfing. I don't think that, it's not like Huntington Beach where you get massive waves, and I don't think there's any surf contest right here. Down the way at Trestles, there's a very famous surf spot that's here, but not on this side of the pier. So, do you think that these people have a right to sue their son for not giving them a kid? How insane is that? Now, here's the thing. As an adult and having adult children, I'm in my kids' life because I think I add value to their life and because they enjoy my company. I can't imagine forcing, you know, you're going to have a child, I'm going to have a grandchild as soon as possible. Now, there's wants, there's needs, there's things like that that people have, but come on. Is that ridiculous? What if they're horrible people? What if they're going to be horrible grandparents? So there's that to contend with. So, but share your thoughts on that. I really want to know what you guys think about that. One thing I forgot to add was that Shrey is a pilot, the son, and the parents, for a wedding gift, bought him an expensive car, and they want, that's the value that they think that they spent over this kid's lifetime, is that. Now, I really enjoy when people write me that are subscribers, and I've gotten some great contacts, and you know, Lawrence in Italy, you know, Lawrence owns a winery, Lawrence owns a wheat field, Lawrence is a really strong businessman, but Lawrence is having serious problems right now because of the supply chain issues, and it's fascinating to hear this from around the world, to hear what these problems are and how he's, you know, fighting this and experiencing this. So, again, I enjoy that. Then there's Regina out of Ohio. And this goes to the theme of where people are angry right now. Regina, I'm just going to say she owns a small farm, okay? And it may be, she may live in a house, but she has set up her home to where basically they have an urban farm. Not, I shouldn't say urban. They have a farm, and she's written me a lot about what they've planted and livestock and plants and the strawberries and everything. It's fascinating, really cool stuff. But she brought up a great point where she went to an amusement park yesterday, and people are furious. People walking around are not happy. People are miserable. People are angry. People are short with the people that work at the amusement park. People are at the end of their fuse, and the fuses are very short right now, and people know that trouble is coming, and they just don't know how to deal with it. So the problem with this, guys, is that this is only going to get worse right now. This is not going to get better. This is important that you realize that. She brought up a friend who she was trying to help with, let's just say, the gardening and setting up planting. And the person wasn't really good at it. Here's your chance, guys. I'm telling you this right now. Regardless of what you want to learn in this world, you can learn anything. You can learn marketing. You can learn, how to raise money. You can learn farming. You can learn how to coach your kid's baseball team. You can learn anything online right now that you want to learn. And, I think about this a lot, okay? When I was a kid, my father, I told Regina this story today, my father owned a patio company that sold patio rooms and patio covers, and he did the smartest thing ever that a parent could do, and that was every summer from 6th grade on, I had to go and work at the company. I had to dig holes. I had to pull wire. I had to, lay cement. I had to build things. I had to hammer nails. I had to learn how to use a Hilti gun and use the hammer gun to set footings. I had to learn all this stuff. And you know what? I hated every second of it. Didn't like it. So I learned all that stuff, and I got gravitated towards selling. I gravitated towards the marketing side of it. Now, unbeknownst to me, I said, oh, I'll do that. It was the worst job ever. I went and knocked on doors. I canvassed. I went door to door asking people if they wanted to get an estimate on a patio in some of the worst cities in Orange County when I was 14 years old. That's what's my first job. Now, ask someone that's been divorced before, the worst people on the planet Earth and the worst experiences were people at those doors. The worst things that were said to me were those people at those doors. They had no problem swearing. They had no problem threatening me. They had no problem with anything that I could do. But it was the greatest experience ever because it taught me how to talk. It's probably why I can do this. So, again, it's one of those things that, oh, I don't have to pour cement? Okay, great. But like I was telling Regina today, if the car breaks down, guys, I can fix the car. If something breaks in the house and the light goes out, I can change the light fixture. I can do all that stuff, and everybody should learn that. But I'm telling you this right now, you better learn how to do this stuff now because all hell is going to break loose and you're going to have to take care of yourself. You're going to need to learn you need to learn farming. You need to learn basic gardening skills. You need to plant food, preserve food. You need to learn what you can save and what you can do. And it's never been easier than doing that. Now, another story, like I mentioned my divorce, one thing that was funny, okay, now it's funny. When this was going on, it was hell. And you're going to see more people right now get divorced and split up and companies get dissolved than you've ever seen in your life right now. You're going to see horrific things happen in the coming months and years. It's just going to happen because people quit. The easiest thing to do in your life is to quit. Oh, this is difficult. This is hard. It is. Everything is hard. Anything worth learning is not easy. Remember that. So, with my son, my divorce, as bad as it was probably no different than anybody else's, where things get said that shouldn't have been said, and things get said about one spouse over another, and all hell breaks loose, and it just, completely explodes with all the lawyers making money. Okay? That's the nice way of putting it. Now, I hated the fact that I had some judge telling me what days I was going to see my kid and how it was going to be worked out. when I felt I was a better parent. And now that my kids have lived with me and I have the relationship with them and their mom doesn't, I'm going to kind of win that one. So anyways, hanging out at the baseball field, I think my son was 9 at the time, trying to be on the baseball field and trying to be around him just to be at practice when, hey, this isn't your day. You're not supposed to be here. What are you doing around here? You know, and that nonsense, that bullshit, okay, of parenting when they just want to jab you and they just want to fight you for no important reason, okay? So with that, one of the coaches, the main coach, we're just going to call him Mr. Martinez because that way you won't be able to figure out who this guy is. Mr. Martinez says, you know, Dan, you're really a nice guy and I've heard nothing but bad things about you from your ex-wife and her friends, and I think this is really unfair, what's happening to you. Okay. So I just told him, you know, what was going on and how bad it was that I couldn't see my son. You know, we had this thing called a 5-2 program where you'd have your kids for 5 days, then they'd be off for 2 days, then you'd have them for 2 days, and then be off for 5 days. It's ridiculous, okay? And it was horrible, and I'm sorry for anybody that has to go through that. But with that being said, it was awful, okay? So this guy, being an insurance man, lays out on the trunk of his car a spreadsheet for here's all our games, and here's the practice schedule right now. Well, when do you have Grant? Oh, okay. Boom, 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 boom. No, let's change practice around this way and this way and this way. Guys, I had my son 6 days a week. Now, he may have been with me during that time, or when he wasn't, I got to go to baseball practice because he made me a coach on the team. Now, guys, I had never coached baseball in my life, to save my life. And again, I learned it on YouTube. Hey, how can I learn to coach? How can I learn these drills? How can I learn all this stuff? Oh, check out the so-and-so Edmonds method, blah, blah, blah. And there were all these different courses that I took that taught me how to coach my kid, okay? And we finished in like 3rd place, you know what I mean? But my favorite picture of my son, which I will show you guys here, is his player of the game, very young man, but I got to be with him 6 days a week because of baseball and because of that. So, you know, little side note for you. Again, things are going to get incredibly bleak and dark right now in the economy and amongst everybody right now. You're going to see horrific stuff. Look at what you can do to be kind to other people. Look at what you can do to not be a statistic and part of the problem. You want to get divorced? Oh, it's all her fault. And oh, he's no good and he's not a man and he didn't make enough money and he made all these horrible business decisions. Okay, just quit. You guys, I'm telling you, losing and quitting, do it. So many other people have done it. You'll just be a statistic. Everything in this world is difficult. I know someone with cancer that runs her business, okay? Okay? Doesn't woe is me. I've never heard that out of her mouth ever. I've heard about how, oh, I've got to teach around my treatment. That's what I've heard, okay? So I know you've got it tough and you've got money problems and you've got things that you have to deal with. You don't have cancer, okay? So another subscriber sent me a great picture, and he's in my area in Orange County, and he went to a Rubio's, the taco place, which Rubio's is one of those taco places that's either hit or miss. Either they're great or they suck, okay? And he said it was crazy, Dan, because I was on North Tustin Avenue, and the manager was writing Post-it notes, and she was writing Post-it notes out of mild salsa and sticking it on the register. New wait time, 20 minutes, out of tomatoes, you know, and just telling everybody how bad everything was there. Now, the crazy thing about this was, look at this train, guys, coming through here. Imagine living, oh, by the way, the train just stopped, so that's why it's going slow. But imagine living next to that and hearing that 10, 15 times a day. Ooh, wow. Okay? Crazy. Lunacy. The planes are bad, the trains are bad. Remember that. For those of you that are complaining about beach life and sounds and stuff, that's horrific. The Rubio's has a sign on the window and on the cash register that says, hiring bonus $1,000. 1,000 bucks to go work at Rubio's. Man, I'm telling you, I should take one of these jobs and see how long I'd have to work there to get one of those bonuses. Because that's crazy, guys. Now, I was at Smart and Final today, and you know, it's like one of those, Smart & Final's like, it's not like a club store, but it's like a discount store. I don't know if you have them around the country everywhere, but they're great. The Smart & Final stores that are grocery stores have, you know, the cleaning supplies and the meat and everything there. So I'm walking through the stores, I'm getting stuff because I need cleaning supplies and meat and stuff for dinner. And this one guy comes walking up and he goes, where is, and he's to the two employees that were stocking shelves, where is the spicy Asian sauce? Oh, sir, that's on 6. Why would you change a store around? What would make you guys think that you needed to change the store around? Nobody can find anything. It's ridiculous. Well, we put all the food together, like international brands and foods are together in one aisle now. So, oh, you guys are stupid, you know, walking away, all furious at the world. And again, angry at the world and angry at these two workers at the Smart & Final. And the one woman says to the man, hey, that worked there, hey, is that 7? He goes, oh no, I had that one guy too, that's 8. So they were keeping track of all the customers that were jerks during their shift. And that was the 8th one, and that guy was a complete ass clown for doing that. So again, that's what the world is. So what a great example you can be to where people make fun of you and people count how many of you they find that are jerks. So it's really odd to see this place with the fan built up so high. They clearly think that there's going to be problems with the tide, a problem with the waves coming in. But just a really cool spot. I'll walk over to the pier for you guys and show you that. So one thing that's quietly happening on the East Coast is, from Freightways magazine, is that they're having problems with diesel. And there's they say quietly there's a diesel shortage on the East Coast. Guys and gals, once it is determined that there's a diesel shortage, you're going to start to have rationing, and you're going to start to have things not be delivered to the stores. You're going to have food not get delivered. You're going to have real problems with this, and it's only going to make prices spike, and it's going to make it so that you will not be able to get products on a regular basis. So again, step up, prepare, get yourself ready for whatever could happen, because it's going to happen. And this is only going to get worse from here. When you don't have the fuel for these truck drivers, prices are through the roof. The amount of money that truck drivers, when they tell me these stories, $1,600 and above to fill their diesel trucks. That is insane, guys, that people are paying these prices right now. Now, it's only going to get worse from here. It's only going to get worse. Baby formula, that should be the thing that gets you guys worried about this. Now, so many people have written me about baby formula, homemade recipes and things like that. And again, you know, children were born long before there was pre-made baby formula. So there's got to be a solution. And with all you preppers out there, if you want to share anything, I'll be happy to share links on the channel as well. You can hear the rocks get pulled away. It's kind of cool. But if you're swimming in that with bare feet, it hurts really bad. Let's put it that way. So you got this one marine building with the seawall. You can see the damage to it. So just doing what they can to protect it right now. Now, one thing I'm fascinated by with real estate is I had no idea that people in England, in the UK, don't have 30-year mortgages. They have mortgages that go 2 and 5 years. Guys, this is such a problem, because how do you budget for that? I don't know. And I'll give you a perfect example, because the problem with construction right now, new construction, is that things are taking much longer than they thought they were going to take. So you're seeing houses that are not completed, and people, hey, we're going to move in 3 weeks. Okay, you need to pre-qualify. Let's check your credit. By the way, the loan went up 3 points, so people are freaking out. There's a great story below about how these people are seeing their lives get turned upside down because they cannot afford the new houses that they're about to move into. A lot of people borrow to the up here when they buy a house, okay? And which is their choice. But what do you do when the house goes up $3,000 a month? Oh, that's insane. Look at the interest rates payments. Look at this story. These people are spending an absolute fortune And you're going to see that happen where people cannot afford to qualify for these houses. But you're also going to start to see internationally people with these adjustable mortgages, because interest rates are going to go up. They're not going to go down. And the people that write me and say, oh, every time in a midterm they go down, look at history, you're just stupid. Okay, well, I've lived long enough to know what's going to happen, guys. And what's going to happen this time is going to be bleak, because I got the greatest article for you guys about real estate. And is it going to be a blanket collapse around the world? Of course not. It's going to be regional. But where it's going to be the most important sectors that are going to be affected are the areas where people have to borrow to get in the houses. The wealthy people that have to buy houses for cash, they're not going to be affected by this. They're going to have to complain and spend more for their house. Okay? Now, the people that have to borrow, especially communities in smaller suburbs, are going to have to borrow, and they may or may not be able to keep the houses. Also, a lot of people go into houses and put very little down payment down, which I'm still shocked that you can get a 3% mortgage, 3% down on these houses, and they're seeing an absolute, utter collapse in this, and that the interest rates are only going to go through the roof right now. So, share your thoughts and all that stuff, guys. Again, be kind to people. Be nice. I've experienced, people have rage. People have road rage. People are just angry. People are angry on this channel. But again, be kind, okay? Even the angry people, I try to respond to you guys so you guys know it's me. But it's funny because some of you guys get super worked up over the most ridiculous things. Now, I'm a guy that likes to go to a baseball game. And I complain about the price at different stadiums that I've been to. Anaheim Stadium, to pay $15 for a beer or $9 for a Diet Coke is insanity, okay? But one thing that's funny is the Port Authority in New York that handles the airport. They handle all the concessions at the airport. Now, these guys are furious right now because guess what? Beers at the airport in New York are $27. So I'm ending the video on this story. $27 to go sit at the airport and have a beer. Now, do you remember back in the day? I remember such great times. I cannot tell you, pre-2000, how many times I drive. Hey, I'll drive you to the airport. We'll eat. We'll get lunch. They would have great restaurants at LAX and great restaurants at John Wayne Airport. All these different airports that you could go to. Long Beach Airport, you could have a good restaurant up there. And you could sit there and you could eat and you could hang out and watch. Hey, see you later. Have a nice flight. And you could do all this stuff. Of course, that's done. It's been done for over 20 years. But the idea of going and spending $27 on a beer, that is a criminal act, guys, to say the least. So, be kind, get ready, okay? Okay? Learn a new skill. I'm telling you this right now. I wanted to learn to cook better, so I learned it on YouTube, guys. And now everybody invites me over to cook. So it's great. Chicks like that too, okay? So, don't tell your wife, okay? Anyways, onward and upward, guys. Please don't forget to hit the like button. Please don't forget the subscribe button. For those of you that have been here before, you can see how high the tide is right now. It's incredibly high. And normally you walk out in front of that section right there, and it's very dry, and it's not like that right now. So, like button, subscribe button. Thank you guys, one and all. Oh, one final thing, and I'll mention this again. We're going to have a party when I hit 200,000 subscribers. So as I hit 195, we're going to do a countdown to 200,000. Plus, I have the most amazing announcement this week that I can finally share with you guys, and I'm so excited. So thank you for being here. I will see you guys very soon.